Ah, look at that. Young 24-year-old me in a fake police academy in a photoshopped picture, living a nice fabricated life of fairy tales, lies, venom, and deception. Oh, yeah, and all the people you see in the background, those are all actors, man. Those are fake badges, those are fake uniforms, those are fake chairs, man. I just live a life of fucking fabrication and venom. But, I was DM'd something a couple of days ago, and I'll show you guys the DM right here. The usual trolls, all trying to say that I fabricate everything I talk about in my real life. I fabricate everything I talk about on video games. Because when people who haven't accomplished anything in their lives, when they fail at everything that they do, and they see somebody like me come around who's successful in almost every endeavor he enters, they think that because they're not good at anything, it's impossible for everybody else to be good at something. So I talk about how I came from law enforcement, and I talk about how I ran track and did wrestling. And the trolls that suck at everything they do, they think I made all of that up. So funny enough, while I was actually trying to find my trophies and medals from track, my mom, because I told my mom about it, because I was like, hey mom, can you find my medals and trophies from track, because I got to prove some trolls wrong, right? And funny enough, we got a bonus, because while we were looking for the trophies and the medals, my mom found my old police academy photos on one of her old phones. And this is also something that people thought that I was making up and fabricating. One of the players in Pirate 101 named Quick Harry Abbott, he said that I photoshopped my law enforcement certification, when I posted it in that video last year. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you guys down memory lane a bit. So let's get back to the photos. Going to go through the academy photos first, and then we're going to get into my track medals and trophies from when I was a teenager. We're just going to start from the most recent dates back to the younger dates, because why not? I found these pictures first, so let's show them first. This was actually graduation day. The first picture here, those chairs are where we're gonna sit. So in the background, there's officers from various agencies. The director of my agency is also standing in somewhere in that crowd. They're waiting for us to march in. They're discussing, having a conversation, whatever. We're gonna march in a couple of seconds. We're gonna take our seats. The ceremony is gonna continue. Nice, sparkly, clean police academy for ceremonies and all that honor bullshit. We eventually march in and make our way to our seats. We sit down, we listen to the lieutenant give our speech. You can see me towards the left with my head down reading something in blue right there. And then eventually we start getting up one at a time to march towards the front to, get our badges pinned. We're going by last names first in alphabetical order. We march up to the front one at a time. And then our respective commanders for that day pin our badges on us. And we're officially recognized as officers, promoted from recruits. This was the picture you guys saw at the beginning of the video. I'm next in line to get my badge pinned in. And it's just like, yeah, all that fucking hell in this academy, and it's finally gonna be over. At least that's what I thought. I thought the hell was gonna end, but the hell was just beginning. But nonetheless, I didn't know what I was signing myself up for. So I figured by the time I get my badge, by the time I'm finally fully promoted to officer, the rest of the job would be easy, but that wasn't the case at all. Nonetheless, I'm next in line. The lieutenant is still up there giving the speech along with the commissioner of the Department of Public Safety and Corrections, and as well as the other recruits, soon to be officers in the background sitting there looking bored. Yes, sir. So it's finally my turn to get the fucking badge pinned on me, but first they gotta ask, Officer Grimm, do you swear to uphold the law, the Constitution, treat inmates with care, custody, control, all the other bullshit? Do you swear to protect your other officers and any civilians you come in contact with? You promise not to use deadly force unless you have blah 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 blah. You guys already know the shits. I basically say, yes, I promise and swear to do all that other shit and stuff and whatnot. Just give me my badge so I can get out of this hell called the police academy. Okay, Officer Grimm, we believe you. We'll give you the stuff. Go out there and be miserable. Yay! Now, it sounds like I'm unhappy I went through this experience, and for the most part I was. The police academy was not fun, it was living hell. But I figured all the hard work was worth it in the end until I actually got to the main job. And here she actually has a hard time pinning my badge on me. She actually stabs me in the chest a couple of times because she's a civilian trying to do it and not an officer herself. Eventually she gets it and she's like, hey Grim, I'm sorry I stabbed you in the chest. Oh, it's all good, no problem. Just keep rolling. Let's not mess up the ceremony. And then, yeah, my instructor basically says, oh wait, she's still pinning the badge on me, still trying to at least. And when they finally get it on, my instructor there, the sergeant to the left, that's a uniform officer, she's like, I'm proud of you, Grim, congratulations. And I'm thinking in my head, no you're not, but we can pretend. And so yeah, they put my badge on. I go and sit back down. We continue the rest of the ceremony. And then after all the other officers and deputies, you know, get their badges pinned on and promoted, we then march out of the class, finish the ceremony, take pictures with each other. I got one of my instructor's numbers, and then, yeah, life resumed after the academy. Now, let's get to the fun parts. For the sake of making this video and just proving the points, I didn't gather all of the medals and trophies I won from tracks, and some of them are at my dad's house. But I wanted to make sure I got the 3 trophies that were the most important for me, as well as a couple of medals for national qualifiers, simply because I want to prove to, you know, the trolls that think I'm lying that, yeah, I actually went to nationals, and yeah, I actually, you know, came in first place at the championships prior to that. You feel me? So the first trophy that I'm about to zoom in on, this was from 2008 cross country championships, first place trophy. This was my 10th grade year because I started running track and cross country 10th grade. I was wrestling 9th and 10th grade, and then I ran from 10th, 11th to 12th grade. So this trophy is important to me because it was the first time I won a first place trophy for a sport. So I was very proud of that. This was before my win at city championships on outdoor track. So I was very proud of this accomplishment. And the next series of trophies are the ones that mean the absolute most to me. These trophies, unlike the rest of the stuff on the table that we gathered for the purpose of making this video, these trophies were not performance trophies. These were trophies that I got my junior years for most dedicated. Between my junior, sophomore, and senior years, I never missed a day of training or practice. I even showed up to the optional meets, the optional practices. Because the thing about my personality, when I'm committed to something, I fully go all in. So my junior year, I got rewarded for it and got most dedicated. 2 trophies for most dedicated that year. And this was actually before I was at my fastest peak. So I got most dedicated. Everybody on the team recognized me as most dedicated. And then by my senior year, I was made captain of the team. Unfortunately, my senior year is also when I got my injury and I never really recovered fully from that injury. So most of my peak performances were actually during my junior year. Because unfortunately, when you train too hard and you never let your body rest, you get injured. It was a life lesson to learn. Nonetheless, I represented most dedicated, and the trophy described me very well for that specific time period of my life, and even nowadays. But nowadays, I understand the importance of rest and recovery. Now, getting back to the actual performance rewards. In the future, if I ever go and see my dad again and get the rest of the medals I left over at his house, I may make a follow-up video and cover some more medals and trophies I won and go over them as well and what they mean to me or meant to me at that point in time. But for now, since this video is really just being made to show people that I'm not lying and fabricating my life, these specific medals I wanted to also include in the video is because these two medals were AAU national qualifier medals. So to qualify for nationals, you needed to finish top 4 for your event at a national qualifier. Now, one of the medals is silver, the other is bronze. So I took second place, I think, in the 2009 national qualifier, and I took third place in the 2010 national qualifier. Now, I got smoked at nationals. I didn't win anything at nationals, but, you know, my sophomore year came in first in city champions, came in first in cross country champions for the county, finished top 10 in regionals for cross country, finished top 5 in regionals my sophomore year for track and field, came in first place my junior year for track and field, and then for the national qualifiers came in second and third 2009 2010. Nationals got smoked. Also won a couple of relays, and we got my relay medals are around the house somewhere. I put one of them on my dog, and I think the dog lost that one, but it's all good. So yeah, as I tell people in Pirate 101, I'm consistently near the top for every activity that I participate in. Whether it comes to video games, whether it comes to real life sports, whether it comes to career endeavors, I have a winning mentality. I only surround myself with winners. I don't make excuses. I don't tolerate excuses. If you're a person that makes excuses for your failure, I'm going to cut you out of my life, block you, ban you, and never talk to you again. One of the guy that you saw in the earlier picture that was trying to say that I was lying about running track and that I don't have any trophies, you know, he's bitter because I cut him out of my life. You know what I'm saying? He was claiming to be so good at Pirate 101, but he can't win any tournaments. And he was making excuses for why he can't win tournaments. You're done. You're going on ignore. I'm blocking you on all your characters in game, and I'm banning you from my servers. Because you attract what you are, not what you want. So I don't want to attract losers that make excuses. Okay? And, you know, back in these days, 2009, 2010, if you were on the track team and you made excuses, you were not going to fit in very well on the track team. So, you know, these two medals in particular don't mean as much to me as the trophies did for most dedicated, because I like being dedicated to my craft when I put my mind to it. But yeah, guys, took you guys down a trip from memory lane. And, you know, originally, if I couldn't find some of my medals and my trophies in those Police Academy videos, I was actually gonna, because there's summer track practice right now for the Baltimore City track and field team. And one of the coaches that coached me in high school still coaches for the summer track team. I was actually going to go pay him a visit, get him on camera, and verify the stuff I was saying here. But there's no need for that since I actually found some of my trophies and medals. So, yeah, guys, I have some stories to go along with, you know, my experiences in law enforcement and running track and field. So I may make a story time playlist and cover those in the future. But other than that, guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed seeing a glimpse into my fabricated, photoshopped, hiring actors in the background life according to Adam West and Harry Abbott. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.